that video there. So I'm going to show you how to fix the problem before it becomes a problem. We noticed that the servo horn came off of the aileron flap, and it caused it to veer off and couldn't control it. So we're going to show you how I fixed it, so this way it won't happen to you if you've got the awesome Havoc, Skynetic Havoc aircraft. So let's go to it. Alright, YouTubers, RC Tech Pro flying again. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of things. Now, what I did was when I bought some servos, they usually come with these extra servo arms, and they usually come with screws. So this is one of the screws that I had extra from one of the purchases from one of the servos. So I kind of measure it so you kind of get an idea on how big these screws are. So we're using millimeter measurements. So the diameter of it is 1.99 millimeters. The length of it is about, make sure we got it. Okay, there we go. It's 9.15 for our height. And then the screw head itself, as far as how big that is about 4.99 millimeters. That doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but we don't want to make it too big. So what I did was I used a form of harder plastic kind of stuff that's like, you could probably use a credit card. So I cut a piece off with using a scissors. And what I did was I took off a piece, and I've got one here. I cut it, alright, to size, and then I made one for each side. And basically what you would do is, you can cut two pieces off, like that. And what I did was, over here, I kind of made them a little smaller, but I just want to use this as an example. So you can see here on the wing, so I cut out that plastic on here, like what you see here. There's the screw I was talking about. And I carefully drilled a hole with my drill, and I ran it through. This way you don't want the screw to actually go right through the foam, so that's why I use this plastic piece, so that this way it's reinforcement so it doesn't pass through the other side. And it carefully went right through the servo horn, and this way it keeps it from popping off. So this is actually reinforcing it. I don't know why Skynetic just had a servo arm just glued without any support of holding it in place underneath. I don't get the idea of why they did that for a plane so aggressive like this. And I did the same thing with the other side. This way you've got that, and it doesn't move. So that won't happen again with it. And I added a little bit of extra glue on here on the surface, some of the Gorilla Glue, the clear stuff, so that this way it keeps it double reinforced. And the same thing with the other side. I did change the servos on this because I accidentally had the electronic touch inside by accident, and it fried, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it. All the servos. The two Aileron servos, it fried the elevator and also the rudder servo. I could not believe how that burned out. And all it was basically I accidentally went in there and I touched, this is my sensor for my battery, and it touched the metal or something, and all of a sudden it just went smoke, a little bit of smoke, and it took it out, and my receiver. So I had to replace the servos. I've never had that happen before, ever. Happened to fry all of them. So maybe it's just a low-grade servos. So anyways, that's how I fixed it. Pretty much when you do this, I'm going to show you, maybe what I'll do is I'm going to put you on hold for just a second here. I'm going to show you how I did it with the drill. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So the measurement size of this bit is a 1/16 size bit. to make the hole in that plastic so you can have the backing on the servo arm. So I'm kind of doing it here really quickly. So this is what I did just to make the hole. It was very simple. Alright, and then what I did was you take the screw and you generally just take the screw like this, go through it. Now, you know how simple that is. It makes a nice tight fit like that. And that's basically that goes through here. Now, what I would suggest that you would do to pre-start your hole so it makes it a little bit easier, so you're not kind of like poking in the wind, not knowing where you're poking. So I actually started a hole. You just got to kind of find it. Now you might be able to start from the top, and I think I remember this. This has been a couple weeks, but what I did was I kind of took it and started a small hole from the top, trying to find out where I'm going. You might be able to do it from underneath and kind of start a hole so that this way the screw goes in there really good. Once you start the hole and preset it, then you can go ahead and screw in your little support on the bottom and line it right up. And this way it's so easy instead of guessing where it's going to go. So that's how I did it. Now on the other side, they came out a little bit different. This one came out, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can show you here. This one came out sort of on the back part of the raised horn, and then this one came out kind of on the side. It was kind of, I started from the bottom, so that's why it's best to do a pre-hole just so that this way you don't mess up. And after you do that, put that on there, and I did put some glue on it as well. I added some glue underneath there just to keep it from moving and keep it permanent. And this way, that won't happen again. I like the plane. It's an awesome flying plane. I think when I was very aggressive, I was kind of aggressive with it. That day it crashed, and what happened was that obviously it pulled off the servo arm. It pulled right off the aileron, and that was it. It was terrible to see the plane crash, but I got to tell you, as hard as that thing hit, the fuselage survived, and there are inside here. So if you're not aware about this, but they have on the inside, you might not be able to see it that good, but inside here, see if I can, inside this aircraft, there are, it looks like fiberglass spars inside here that go all the way from here all the way to about a little past the center of the fuselage on both sides. That's what kept the fuselage together after that hard hit. So I'm going to tell you something. This is very well built as far as the fuselage. I wish they would have thought a little bit better. Maybe they will after seeing this video. Something to support these horns so this won't happen again. Anyways, RC Tech Pro Flying, we're out. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Have any questions, feel free to write them, and I'll answer them as quickly as I possibly can. Alright, everyone out there, have a great and wonderful day. God bless.